Welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about the worst books that I read last year. And I am giving these books the energy that they deserve, which is nothing. That's why I'm coming to you snuggled up in my bed. These books do not deserve my normal energy, my normal time. If this is your first time viewing my channel, we're getting very intimate today. This is a very intimate introduction. No, actually what happened is I fell down the stairs. And when I say I fell down the stairs, I mean from the very top of the stairs to the very bottom of the stairs. I tumbled and hurt myself a lot. The entire right side of my body is one whole bruise. It's all purple under here. I fucked up my ankle, and very annoyingly, it's my good foot. Now I have no good feet left. Anyways, I'm in a lot of pain. So that's why I decided to film this video laying down. But I also don't think that these books deserve my energy and for me to be in pain. They already caused me the pain. I don't want them to further cause me pain. Can you guys tell that I'm on a lot of painkillers? Is that obvious already? Okay, I've done no preparation for this video. We're just gonna get into it. We're just gonna talk about the worst books that I read in 2024. There's very much a mixed bag in here. There is one book that I think is ultimately the number one worst book that I read of the whole year. I'll save that for the very end. The rest were all just varying levels of bad. Ooh, let's start the video with a controversy. Red Rising. I read Red Rising and I hated it. I gave it 1 star. I actually vlogged this book for Patreon. I kind of went off on a rant in that video, but just kind of sum up why I didn't like it. I really hated the main character. I think his name was Darrow, something like that. I hated him. He was giving head empty, no thoughts. He was giving I don't have a personality. I also thought it was so stupid how, okay, his whole motivation for the whole book is that he wants to avenge his wife because his wife dies at the beginning. Not really a spoiler, it happens like 5 pages into the book. So he's trying to avenge his wife, but then like halfway through the book, he just forgets his wife. Like he forgets what he's doing there, what his purpose is. He's like, wife who? He was giving bitch, because I know if I was his wife who died, oh, I would have haunted him forever. I would have never let him get a night's rest. Also, on top of that, there's just like a lot of like sexual assault. I hated the way that the female characters were written. Yeah, it was not a good time for me while I was reading Red Rising. And I have no plans on ever reading another book by Pierce Brown, so very sorry to everyone who loves him. All right, next we have Jacked Up. Now, I read this for a video on Sarah's channel, and this is a Jack in the Box romance. The toy Jack in the Box. Not the fast food place, although that probably would have been better. Now, when I read this book, did I know it was gonna be really bad? Yeah, of course. And I feel like this book is kind of more of like an honorable mention on this list because it did exactly what I think it was supposed to do. It was silly. It was ridiculous. Basically, the whole book is just about this girl who inherits her grandmother's Jack in the Box, and she is just obsessed with it. And where I think she went too far is that she wanted to fuck the toy. She didn't even know the fact that inside the Jack in the Box is a demon trapped inside who wants her to free him, which she eventually does. Before she even knew that aspect, she just saw the little picture on the Jack in the Box of the clown. She was like, that's my man. That's my man. So she was crazy. The book is just written really bad. Like, I could have gotten on board with the silliness. It was written horribly. Next is Gone to See the Riverman. This is, I guess you could categorize it as extreme horror. I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually fully know what like the specific definition of extreme horror is. I think I would consider this that. It also is what made me learn I hate whatever that is. Whatever this book is, I hate it. I do have to kind of spoil this book in order to talk about it, so if you don't want any spoilers for Gone to See the Riverman, skip ahead. The reason that I hated this book so much, and I didn't know going into it, is that you are in the point of view of the main character while she sexually assaults her little brother. And the thoughts that she's having while she's doing that is so disgusting. So disgusting. I actually started to disassociate while I read this book, so congratulations to the book for making me not want to exist on this dimension any longer. There was a lot of other reasons why I hated this book. I talked about it a lot in my 24-hour reading vlog. Honestly, most of these books I vlogged like in depth, so I will just link all the videos down below because I'm sure in my vlogs I did a much more coherent review than whatever I'm doing here. Okay, next, another controversial one. I know, How High We Go in the Dark. Everybody loves this book. Everybody loves it. I really thought that I would love it, but I did not. And I learned something about myself while I was reading this, in that I don't like when I can feel the author's intent. I don't like when I can feel what the author is trying to make me feel, but I don't actually think that they put the work in to do that. I don't know if this makes sense. It's a collection of short stories, and every single story felt like, how sad can we make this? How much can I make the reader cry? I don't like when things feel forced just for me to have an emotion. And that's kind of how I felt in this book. Like, every story was just like, what's the saddest thing I can do? And I was like, okay, but I don't care. Next up, we have So Happy For You. This one is a satire book, which I realized I hate satire. I think it's stupid. So this book is about unlikable women, and I use quotes because I love books about unlikable women. These women were insufferable, and there is a difference. They were insufferable, and I wanted them both to die. It was like they were having a contest on which one of them could be the worst human being possible. And they were both winning. I wanted the book to end. I didn't want to have to read about them ever again. Okay, next I have Barbarian Alien, which is part of the Ice Planet Barbarian series, which in history, I have enjoyed books in that series. This one, however, no. The guy in this, the alien guy in this book, he kidnaps the main character because he's like, you're my mate, I want you, and she says no, ew, and he goes, okay, I'm gonna kidnap her and keep her in a cave. But this is where I drew the line. This is where I was like, this is too far. While she's unconscious, he strips her down, strips her naked, inspects her whole body. He's like, you know, in her vulva. He's digging for gold in there. He's swimming around. That was crazy. That was crazy. Why did he do that? I couldn't get past the gynecology exam that he gave her while she was unconscious. So I was against him the whole book, and I feel like he just kept getting worse. Okay, a surprising one. I have Guillotine on here. This is surprising because last year, Delilah S. Dawson wrote my favorite book of the year. This year, she wrote one of my least favorite books of the year. Now, of all the books on this list, this one is the least offensive. I think I gave it like 2 stars, and there was definitely potential. I just feel like it didn't go as far or as deep as I wanted it to. I feel like a lot of the themes that were discussed in this book were very surface level, and the plot kicked off way too fast to where there was like no build up, so I never really got invested or cared about anything. And then I think the real nail on the coffin was that the main character was such a bystander. Like, she didn't participate in anything, she didn't do anything until like the very end of the book. The entire book, like I would say like 99% of the book, she's just observing, and that is not enjoyable to read. I don't know. I had high expectations, obviously, because I loved Bloom so much, but this was a miss for me. And like I said, it had a lot of potential. I think it would make a fun movie or something. It was not for me, unfortunately. Now we're here. The worst book that I read all of last year was American Queen by Sierra Simone. This is another book that I read for a video on Sarah's channel, so everyone clap for Sarah for making me read 2 of the worst books that I read. If you want to hear the entire plot of American Queen, you can go watch the video on her channel. I will give you the highlights. So this book is a polyamorous romance between a girl, the President of the United States, and the Vice President. These 2 men, the President and the Vice President, they were giving Predator. They were giving, how much can we use this young girl, use and abuse. The whole romance was just that these 2 guys wanted to fuck each other, but they were like, we're not gay. We're not gay. So how can we fuck each other without being gay? Let's use this girl. That was the plot. They were like, if we fuck each other while this girl is in the middle, we're not gay. Also add on the fact that the president kissed the girl when she was like 16, and then is like, Oh my god, you're so young. It's so hot. Jail. Jail for both of these men. Jail for all of them. Honestly, there was more. I could go on and on and on, but I already did that in Sarah's video. So those were my worst books of 2024. If you made it to the end, leave me an American flag emoji for the worst book, American Queen. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and check out my Patreon where I post exclusive content. I will hopefully see you guys in my next video. Bye!